Okay, let me answer these questions to the study guide. I apologize, I'm in a vehicle here. Not driving, by the way, so that's probably better. So I apologize if a little more shaking on this. I'll try not to do that, except for right then when I did it on purpose. I'm going to answer these here, and that way you'll have them to check your answers and keep studying. So these were just reducing the fractions. So you're just reducing them down. 3/9 can reduce to 1/3. Okay, you can divide them both by 3, so you get 1/3. Okay, this divided by 3 is 1. This divided by 3 is 3. This one you can divide them both by 4. So it goes into 4 once, goes into 12 3 times, so it's 1/3 also. This one is, let's divide them at least by 2 because they're both even numbers. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. 36 divided by 2 is 18. And then that doesn't reduce down anymore, so that's as low as it goes. This one, let's reduce down by 2 first. So 2 goes in here 39 times. And it goes in here 42 times. And then you look and say, okay, they're not both even anymore. I can't divide them by 2, but I can. And this is where you got to use your chart maybe and look down the rows. But I can divide this by 3. Goes in here 13 times. And 3 also goes in here evenly 14 times. Okay, so now that's as low as it goes because there's no number that goes into 13 and 14 evenly. That was a tough one, but we got to be ready for that. So I went down by 2. And then I looked and I saw that 3 could go into both of those. Number 5, sorry, I circled that. Number 5 is, let's divide them. You could divide them both by 2 and go down and keep going down, but there's a bigger number that goes into them, and that's 8. 8 goes into here twice, goes into here 3 times. Okay. If you'd went down by 2, okay, you would have got 8 12s, and then you would have said, okay, now I can go by 2 again, that's 4, 6, and then go down by 2 again, which is 2/3. So you would have got there, it's just taken you more steps. It would have kept going by 2. Okay, 5/7 does not reduce, so you just leave it the way it is. You can either circle it or put equal to 5/7. It does not reduce. Make sure that they can reduce. They may not reduce, so. Okay, and then we're going to add and subtract, reduce if needed. So sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. This one's going to be 4/8, which does reduce. You can divide them both by 4 and you get 1/2. Okay, this one you get 2/4. Just add the tops. That does reduce down. Divide them both by 2, you get 1/2. Okay, 7/8 minus 6/8 is, or 1/8 is 6/8. Make sure you subtract if it says to subtract. That does reduce down by 2, so you get 3/4. This one equals 3/3. Just add the tops, because the bottoms on all these are the same. So that's where you can just add the tops. We're not changing the bottoms. We're just adding or subtracting the tops. Now, if you get the same number over each other, that divides to 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that's how you reduce that one. Change it to 1. Okay, this one is 4/11. That does not reduce down. Nothing goes into evenly into 4 and 11. This one becomes 10/8, which is improper. So 8 goes into 10 one time with a remainder of 2 over 8. And even that reduces. Now you're not going to reduce the whole number, but this reduces by 2, 1/4. Divide both of these by 2. Okay, so 1 1/4 is the answer to that one. Then we get into these here, and I'll have to rewrite them to give us some space. So 1/4 plus 2/3. Okay, these do not have the same bottom, 4 and 3. So I'm going to have to find the least common denominator, which in this case is 12. To get to 12, I multiplied this by 3, so I have to multiply this by 3. I multiplied this by 4, so I have to multiply this by 4. And now I can add the tops, 11, and the bottom stays the same. That does not reduce, so it's 11/12. Okay. 1/2 minus 1/4. Now, it almost looks like you can't do that. Like, you're going to end up with a negative number. Like, that one's bigger than that, but it's not. Okay. We're going to find the least common denominator, which is 4. So that means if I doubled the 2, I'm going to double that. And this one didn't change, so it stays that. And so you see now, this is actually bigger than this. If you have a half a cup, you have more than if you had a fourth a cup. Okay, so now we subtract, and we can just subtract the tops. Get 1/4. If you're thinking of money, that's like 50 cents minus 25 cents gives you 25 cents. Okay. Number 15 is 2/7 plus 11/14. So we need the least common denominator, which is 14. You doubled that, so double that. You kept that one the same. You add the tops, you get 15. That's an improper fraction, so we're not going to leave it that way. 14 goes into 15 one time with a remainder of 1 back over the 14. Okay, 16 is 5/6 minus 1/3. So let's find the least common denominator is 6, so it stays 5/6. This one doubled, so we're going to double the top. And you get 3/6, which 3/6, divide them both by 3, and you get 1/2. Okay, that one reduces. 17 is 5 minus 2/3. And we didn't do a lot of these, but remember, anytime we saw a whole number, we put it over 1. We make it a fraction. Minus 2/3. Now, I can't just subtract these because I got to have the same bottom. So the lowest common denominator of these two is 3. That means I multiplied this by 3. I got to multiply that by 3. This one stayed the same. So now we can subtract, and we get 13 over 3. That's improper, so 3 goes into 13 4 times without going over, with a remainder of 1/3. 4 and 1/3. Now, if you think about that, if you had 5 whole cups of something, and you took away just 2/3, you didn't even take away a whole one, you just took away 2/3, you're still going to have 4 whole cups, and then you're going to have 1/3 left for where you took this 2/3 away. Okay, so that's what that means. Okay, 18 is multiply the fractions. We can do that here. Multiply the tops is 1. Multiply the bottom. Make sure you don't add. Make sure you multiply. So that's 1/6. This one is 14 over 24. 14, 24. That reduces down by 2. Divide them both by 2, and you get 7/12. Okay. This one, you got to make this a fraction. So 4 over 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. That's an improper, so 3 goes into 8 2 times with a remainder of 2 over 3. 2 2/3. Okay, and then these last ones here are, let's see, this is what I was talking about. It's going to be hard. Let's see. I think I can get this. There we go. Let's try that. So this one we're going to keep. We're going to change. We're going to flip. Now we multiply the tops, 9. Multiply the bottoms, 8. 8 goes into 9. Remember, can't leave it improper, so 8 goes into 9 one time with a remainder of 1 over 8. Okay, and then this one is 7/8 times 3 over 1. So we kept, changed, flipped. We get 21 over 8. 8 goes into 21 2 times without going over, with a remainder of 5 over 8. If you're wondering still how I'm getting that, 8 goes into 21 2 times, and then when you do 16, you get a remainder of 5 over the 8. Okay, and this last one is 6/7. Now, it's already 3 over 1 before you flip it. So when you go to flip it, you get 1/3. So keep, change, flip. So 6 times 1 is 6. 7 times 3 is 21. You can divide both of these by 3, and you get 2/7. So 2/7 is that one. 2 over 7. All right. So check those. Now, I know some of these, I went kind of quick, but go back and watch them. Check your answers. Maybe you divided or subtracted right or something. You just didn't reduce. You want to, try it all. Don't panic if you missed it. You may have only missed one step of it. So check that and make your corrections. All right. Thanks, guys. Test on Wednesday.